Hello, good morning, good afternoon. I'm Dawn Hancock. I am the Senior Director of Knowledge Management and Internal Communications at Nordic Consulting. And I'm super excited to share my case study this morning about how we recently implemented our digital workplace solution, how we chose our vendor, and some of the successes that we've seen post-launch. So before I jump in, I just want to share a little bit more about Nordic. So we are a consulting firm. We are focused almost exclusively on the health sector, and we have a global presence. So we have offices in the US, in Canada, and in Europe. And we work really closely with healthcare organizations to deliver technology solutions that make their systems and their people healthier. So our workforce has deep clinical and technical expertise across the globe. And we're ultimately driven by a desire to see people healthy and well. And we really see connected technology and the solutions that we're able to deliver to our clients as the key. So we help our clients solve some of their most complex technological challenges, and we help make technology more useful for care teams and more beneficial to their business, and ultimately use that technology to create a healthier world. So this is a little bit more information about our impact. So you can see we have 500 plus clients around the world. We have a 1,400 strong plus, network of professionals, and we have been almost exclusively focused on the health sector for over a decade. We are also very highly regarded in our space, and we've been recognized both for our internal work environment and the work that we deliver to clients. So I'm super excited to be a part of the Nordic family. I've been with Nordic since February of this year, and it's really refreshing working for such a purpose-driven organization. All right, so now on to our challenge. So, like I said, I've been with Nordic since February of this year, and I was hired to basically build the knowledge management and internal communications functions from the ground up while also revamping our current intranet. And so, my first order of business when I joined was to, of course, assess the current state. And what you see here on the slide were some of my observations after speaking with every single leader across Nordic globally and hearing their pain points when it came to information access and just how our digital environment was structured. And so, firstly, you can see our current internet was outdated. The information that was out there was limited and it was difficult to find, which of course means that people are wasting time and or just not leveraging the platform at all. Our collaboration and knowledge sharing was taking place in silos, which I think can be really common. So we weren't really benefiting from our collective intelligence, right? So it wasn't as easy for us to tap into what Nordic knows and know what Nordic knows. Our internal communications was primarily via email. The function itself wasn't centralized. And so the content, being an email is not very engaging. It's kind of rote. It just goes into your inbox to die. And of course, it's difficult to reference that information and find it if you need to look back and refer to it. There's a lack of global connectivity, and we didn't have really a centralized global platform for sharing company information and news. Like I said, on the internal communication side of things, most things were via email. And while we did have an intranet that was outdated, it was not global. And so we had sort of separated our global access. And so there really wasn't this centralized portal for all things Nordic globally. And so all of those things essentially translate into the fact that our people were wasting a lot of valuable time tracking down the information that they need to do their jobs and to serve our clients, which of course is our reason for being. So as part of the business case that I put together when I was going to get the funding for our digital workplace, one of the things that I did was I actually ran some calculations to estimate what it was costing Nordic in order for them to pay people to spend time searching for information that should be readily available and centralized. And it was a staggering number to say the least. So that rough calculation alone clearly demonstrated the need and the value that a digital workplace could bring to Nordic. And so, what I set out to do was to modernize the Nordic workplace and to address all of the pain points that I just covered on the previous slide. And so my scope for this project, like I said, was building the knowledge management and internal communications functions and also refreshing the intranet. And so I decided that I wanted to deploy a singular solution for all of those things because in past lives, I've seen separate platforms spun up to address the knowledge piece, to address the communications piece, to address the intranet piece. And what ultimately ends up happening, what I've seen happen, is that those platforms cannibalize each other, and they can also be very confusing for the end user because there's not a single information gateway and they don't know where to go for what. So they end up just not leveraging any platform. So you have low adoption, and then you're not getting the value, maximizing the value of the investment that you make in building those platforms in the first place. So what I did is I looked at more than 30 internet vendors. I spent time in sandboxes for about 15 of them. So lots and lots of hours spent testing different functionality, talking to folks, asking questions. And I narrowed down the solution that would work for us to Beezy singularly. It was truly a singular solution in terms of its ability to serve as an effective intranet and internal communications portal and collaboration platform and knowledge management platform. And so what you see on the slide are what our high level goals and KPIs are for in terms of how we're going to measure the success of this program. And so I wanted to make sure that our people were connected, informed, engaged, and sharing, and that our content was findable, impactful, and fresh. And we, of course, have detailed KPIs and ways of measuring those parameters, but these were our high level objectives. And being able to solve and meet objectives that are this broad with a singular solution was definitely a challenge. But BZ really was able to do that. And so what we did is we launched what we are calling Nordic HQ. It's our global digital headquarters. And we called it that because it's really a destination where our people can come and connect and find the information that they need to do on a day-to-day basis across our whole global workforce. And you can see here our sort of tagline that we put together for Nordic HQ, which is this is really where our people can discover the information and resources they need to do their jobs, connect with colleagues, leadership, and our corporate vision, and of course, share their insights to help make us smarter and help us be able to tap into our collective intelligence more easily. So, Nordic HQ did modernize our workplace across knowledge, across communications, across collaboration, and more, really. And so now it serves as our single gateway into all things Nordic across the globe. And so we launched Nordic HQ on September 1st. So we're still early days, but we went live. We kicked off the project at the beginning of June and we went live on September 1st. So at that point, we had 150 plus pages of corporate content, including policies, go to market materials, thought leadership, all our benefits information, that kind of stuff. We built 28 sites, including sites for all of our departments and our strategic initiatives that are cross-functional across Nordic. We published 60 plus stories featuring all of our dynamic content, including internal comms, our blog posts, and more. We launched with 20 plus communities for our folks to connect across different departments, locations, DEI groups, and other areas of interest. And then since we launched, which was about a little over 6 weeks ago, we've added 19 new pages of corporate content, such as some market sizing reports, industry research, and other types of content. We've created 3 more sites, including a research and insight center and a COVID-19 center, where we are curating all of the latest guidance. We've added 7 new communities for different teams and initiatives, including our remote workers. And we've hosted 4 live trainings to help folks get up to speed on this new platform. So we have had, even though this is early days, we've had a ton of enthusiasm about this. And really, what Nordic HQ has done and the functionality that we've brought and the way we've been able to modernize our whole workplace, we're really just getting inundated now that people can see what's possible and can see the potential here for centralizing our digital environment, improving our collaboration, having that single access point, make it easier for people to find things, saving them time, which has a huge ROI. As I mentioned, we calculated that earlier. So it's been really exciting to see it come to life. It's been really fun to see how receptive everyone has been to it and how what great ideas they have, how much thinking they're doing in terms of how we can leverage this functionality to just continue to improve Nordic and improve our connectivity and improve all of the different parameters that it improves and modernizes. And, even though building Nordic HQ was a ton of work, especially with the volume of content that we had when we went live, it was also a ton of fun. And I truly could not imagine building this on any other platform. BZ really made this happen and made it happen in just a gorgeous and well organized and intuitive and user friendly way. And so it's been really, really fun to build this, to see it come to life, and now to just continue to grow and expand what we have here. It's just been a blast, honestly. So if anyone has any questions, feel free to reach out to me at any time. As you can tell, I'm very passionate about this, so I'm happy to talk about it with any of you. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Hi, I'm Jbid Kissel, Director of Community Support at Powerschool. Because our users are diverse, we definitely had some challenges to overcome. We needed to make sure that our site worked for everyone and it was easy to navigate. And the more we grew and the more users we added over the years, that was fantastic, but that also meant that we needed to make sure that we were always thinking about structure and navigation and design and how do our users actually connect with our community. We support over 60 plus solutions, so we also wanted to make sure that our customers had access to just their resources and how can we cut out that noise and make sure they got the answers fast. So what we ended up doing to accomplish this was set out on a site-wide redesign. We looked at our whole site. We brought in our UI UX team. We looked at every way that our customers connect with us, from signing in to accessing support to getting to their product support resources. And we started with the homepage, and we put quick links on the homepage, make sure that they could ask questions, start a discussion. They could find knowledge-based articles. They could navigate to find just their products resources. They can get to contacting support, launching chat. And so we gave them those quick links. We also made sure that we highlighted users who were active so our customers could connect with each other as well. So really brought our most active users to the forefront. We started next with our menus. We wanted to make sure that our products were specific to our customers' needs. So using our user profiles and our permissions and roles, we really wanted to make sure that we had a system where customers logged in and only saw their own products. We still have an area for the publicly available resources as well, but we wanted to make sure the customers are looking for just the resources, they could actually just narrow down for their content. Prior to that, we've gotten feedback that they saw more than they needed to, so that was really a key update for us. Then we also wanted to make sure that the access to support was streamlined, so we redid our contact support flow. Our case portal got a redesign. We had struggled through our case portal previously. We had just the basic out-of-box feature. We hadn't really customized it, and we had tried third-party tools, lots of different ways to connect customers through support. Last year, working with the Koros team and our in-house developers, we completely redesigned our case portal. We had a journey where our customers could land in the case portal, search their current cases, really have a great way to filter, navigate, and find their current cases. But also then when they went to create a new case, we wanted to have a guided approach. We brought in resources such as our knowledge-based articles, and we guided our customers. Point being self-service, case deflection. We wanted to make sure that our customers had a way to look for content before they created a case. So we built out a new flow, and we made sure that we delivered great content. So we had to spend a lot of time on content and making sure our content was top-notch. Next, we embarked on improving our search. So having great content is fantastic, but making sure our customers could find that content was very important. So we worked with a third-party vendor that Koros recommended, and we started embarking on a federated search option. We wanted this to be one platform, so we wanted to make sure that any repository of resources we had could be brought into the community. So we built a federated search through Search Unify, and we put in filters for products. different repositories, and lots of other facets to help customers find the answers they were looking for. Got great feedback. And so again, not just having content, but being able to deliver that content was key to us. And previously we had customers tell us, I can't find what I'm looking for. And this was a huge improvement. We built a few other resources to help as well. We added a chatbot to our community. We have parents, as I mentioned, that we support, and parents often come to us for quick answers. So for those quick answers, we really wanted to build a way for customers to get those answers without having to contact support. And it was tremendously successful. We launched last summer, and in the last year, we've seen activity every single day, thousands of questions coming through our chatbot. So we're really watching that engagement grow. We have liked it so much. We've added more users and more products to that experience. Continuing on, again, this idea of one platform, we added an ideas portal to our community, a place for customers to add enhancement requests. Previously, they were going to many different portals and also contacting support. And so we created one place where they could come in and they could put in their requests, watch their votes, comments, and seeing the feedback from the product team and follow their requests.
The efforts to improve the Powerschool community for our members has led to a growth in usage. Over the last year, we have added 70,000 new members to our community with more than 12 million page views. We also created 700 videos to improve our knowledge bases and saw nearly 5,000 ideas added through our ideas portal. Our case portal usage increased by 160%, and our support teams achieved a CSAT of over 97%. In October of 2020, we launched a new customer program, the Powerschool Mentors, where members assist in testing and providing feedback on new community features and designs before they are live. They also create how-to articles and collaborate with other Powerschool users through our forums. Since the program was launched, we have welcomed more than 90 mentors, and they have helped answer nearly 2,000 forum posts and have over 100 participations in our beta test.
On behalf of all of us here at Powerschool, we thank you for this recognition, and we look forward to continued growth and engagement in the upcoming year.
Thank you so much to our panelists today for sharing. I always love to hear these stories. And those were two really different ones, which is always a fun thing. So at this point, if anyone does have any questions, definitely feel free to drop them in the chat or drop them in the Q&A. I do think that Jacob has a couple of questions that he is going to ask. So Jacob, if you want to turn your camera on.
I tried to do that earlier and it wouldn't let me. So you'll just have to deal with my still face and imagine it moving. So I think one thing we didn't get to was for Powerschool, for whatever reason, sorry, I don't know if we turned in the right video, was talking about what Powerschool actually does. And I would love to hear, Jbid, if you have a little intro. I know we talked about it before, but I think everybody should get some context to that story.
Sure, I'd be happy to. And I'm also not able to turn on my camera, so you're gonna have to see my still picture. It says I can't. Yeah, it's not allowed. So, but that's okay.
I believe you, and I'm trying to figure it out.
It's okay. It is early in the morning, so you don't have to turn it on. So Powerschool. Powerschool is in the education ecosystem. So basically what we do is we have multiple products that support pretty much everything about running a school, teaching, administrators, HR, assessments, attendance, registration. So everything to do with going to school, with being in your classes, with schools running kind of that business. And so we support users, mostly administrators and teachers, but we also, have families that we support as well. So we really kind of need to make sure we meet the needs of all those different kinds of users through our community.
Yeah, you're being modest. Powerschool is maybe the largest education software provider in the world, with over 45 million students supported via their systems and their community. So, when they say millions of new users and 70,000 new members, that's kind of to give you a degree of the scale. And we've been working with y'all for a few years, and you just made incredible progress with this community in that time. And I think what you guys have really tackled incredibly, being flexible and going through COVID and having all the incredible ramp that we had last year for education software providers and educators, and supporting all of the teachers and administrators in the world and dealing with this virtual learning world. I think one thing you kind of glossed over was the fact, hey, there's dozens of products and you're supporting a bunch of different types of people in communities. We call them roles. Basically, people have to have certain access to certain levels of information based on, whether they're a customer or a student or a teacher, administrator, or something else. And it becomes and at scale, at 45 million person scale, that becomes a really challenging problem to manage and organize information. So you talked a little bit in the video about using Grazidi for unified search, but I'd love to hear a little bit more kind of about your tackling that complex challenge of information management.
Absolutely. We do have some public areas of our community, so where our families can access information, without logging in or logging in and engaging with us, but that's not necessarily needing a specialized a product role, let's say. But we support 60 plus solutions, so for that we have lots of different roles, and we devised this background system that kind of syncs up users to pulling information from our CRM, and when they matching them up and making sure they have the right product access. And so you might have some customers with one product, some with multiple products. And when we first launched, we put the products and the information out there. There was a lot of information being delivered, and it wasn't necessarily, it created some noise. So people were giving us a lot of feedback. I only really want to see these products. I only, I want to make sure that my filters are just showing these products, that, when I search, I only see my products. So that really became a challenge to overcome. And we needed to carry that through to everything we did. And so when we launched Search Unify last year, again, we could have had this open search, but we really wanted to make sure that we didn't just say, you can see this information, but you really can't get there. So we really needed to manage that experience. So you saw only what you needed to, and, we cut out that noise with extra products you didn't need to access. So that was structure, that was navigation, that was redesign of pages, that was role management, it was, syncing up users, it was, carrying those features down to everything we launch. So yeah, absolutely, it's been complex, and we're always wanting to keep that at the core, to make sure that customers kind of felt like they had that personalized experience, instead of, feeling like they came and they could see everything and it wasn't relevant to them.
Great, thank you. And again, so impressive. I think, yeah, and I asked you this last time. I think we have time for maybe one more question, but what was your favorite thing, or what was the thing you're most proud of in the last year for your community?
I think, launching the search is something that I'm very proud of. There's a lot of things, we've done a lot in the last year, but I'm going to talk about the search just because that's where we got the most feedback, was, whether through surveys, or we have now a mentor program where we've launched, and that's another thing I'm really, really super proud of, our super user program, who are logging and engaging with our customers every day. But when they log in, they were having the same kind of experience as everybody else, which was, sometimes I see what I shouldn't, sometimes I can't find what I'm looking for. So they were very candid with us, gave us lots of feedback. They beta tested our search along with us, and let us know if the search was being successful. So that was really, really key for us to have that mentor voice, or a super user voice inside all the things that we did this past year. Everything we released really had their input. But the search really, prior to launching this Federated Search, we were seeing maybe, 86% success rate. And now we're seeing 93, 94% success rate in searches. That's searches with results. We're actually can follow what customers are using, what resources they're actually utilizing, and we can even see if those resources, are kind of like are helpful. They got what they needed, or if that led to creating a case. If the resource wasn't helpful, maybe we need to look back at the resource and see what we can do to make it better. So it's given us a lot of insight into how we can answer questions, because at the end of the day, we are a community, we are a support community, we are there to be helpful, we are there to help our customers when they have questions. And so seeing that we are delivering more and successfully delivering more answers has been the best. But again, I'm proud of a lot of things that we've done, and it all ties together. But it was a challenging thing to launch a search for so much content, so many products, and to make sure that we were delivering to the customers exactly what they needed. And I'm super proud of the work that we did there.
Great. Yeah. So last question on that one is what advice would you give to somebody looking to take on a similar project?
I would say definitely first, you need to know what we came into it with a problem to solve. We knew we had repositories outside of our community. We knew, one of the reasons why our search was sometimes failing was what customers were searching for just didn't exist in our community. And so that was a pain point. Now, because we brought in this federated search, which pulls from multiple sources, they're of course going to have more success because they're able to get to those answers across those sites. So I think you need to know what your pain points are. And what are you trying to solve? I would definitely include customer voice. If you're going to embark, that was one thing that we did really well, having a core group of users who were telling us exactly what the pain points were. And then I would definitely look at several different vendors, see what they offer. Do they work well for you? For us, using natural language, machine learning, the ability to continue to improve, the analytics were important to us. Making sure that we could track usage, always with a mind to improving, making better. We're never done, right? We're always doing more. So we needed to make sure that that was going to work well. And we had used the Khoros native search, and it worked well for my team. And so we had some needs to match some of the experiences that we knew we wanted to carry through to this new search, because we didn't want to lose what we knew was working. And so just really having very tight requirements, knowing exactly what you're trying to solve, what you're trying to get out of it. I think that's key. A lot of different providers out there for federated search, just finding the right fit, looking at how other customers are using it too. We definitely did our research. So do your research, know what you're trying to solve, and have a clear vision for what you want to achieve there.
Perfect. And I know we're probably running over, but hey, I'm being told we can continue because it's recorded, right? So one last question is, I know that you, as part of your expansion of your community and the rapid increase in users, you've also started working with a lot more teams inside Powerschool. So how did you set that up, and how have you made it successful?
So community started out as kind of a small, just focusing on a handful of products, and and really focused on family support to begin with. But as we added more products, then the team started seeing more value, and the more we started sharing out. So I have monthly leadership calls where I'm going in, sharing out our successes and the projects that we're tackling, really putting the word out there as to what we're doing. And that actually just started to then lead to teams saying, can we put this on community? Can we engage with you on community on this? And other teams started coming to us. So we have events that get posted on our community from various teams because they know it's going to get usage and visibility. You know, product team has put announcements and updates. We've worked together on an ideas portal, centralizing it on community, whereas before our various products had their own kind of enhancement, you know, request portals, you know, across various sites, and bringing it together to one place and community being that place that hosts it made sense. So it really has been, I think, just the fact that we've grown and shown success and we know it's a place people are coming to, it's organically led to those conversations. But again, it's a lot of cross-team meetings, a lot of presentations, a lot of sharing out, here's what we're doing, you know, and becoming much more of a household name inside our business, that people know Powerschool Community is our support site, it is our community, this is what we do. And you know, communication is key, those meetings, those collaborations are key. And then I have an attitude of, yeah, let's try it, or, you know, you want to put your content, let's explore it, let's see what we can do. And so we really do, it's good for me. The more content we put on there, the more we can bring customers to one place. It's definitely a benefit. So I'm always open to trying and putting another resource on the community. And that attitude and that, you know, wanting to do more, you know, has, you know, led to more and more collaborations.
Great. Thank you so much, Reed. And thank you again for sharing the story of Powerschool.
And I just want to thank you both. I want to thank everyone that tuned in today. We did record this, so if you did have to drop early, you can't hear me saying this anyway, but we have recorded it, and I will send the archive out tomorrow. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you to our panelists, and I hope you all have a wonderful day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.